Roseanne got fired for being a racist, and now apparently ABC thought it was a mistake. Wow, wow. There's been a lot of people who have been fired for saying things, and it goes back and forth. Some people cheered when James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy, got fired. Me, I think it's all ridiculous. Roseanne should not have been fired. James Gunn should not have been fired. Sarah Jung probably begrudgingly... Well, look, Sarah Jung shouldn't have been hired in the first place, but at this point, I also don't think she should be fired. I think we need to just chill out, stop digging up old nonsense. You've got, they're pulling up high school yearbooks for Kavanaugh. They're talking about some dude's, third grade experience where he, ate glue. I don't care. But here's the funny thing. ABC executives reportedly regret knee-jerk firing of Roseanne, fear the Conners will flop. Roseanne is removed from the show Roseanne, and they're calling the show The Conners. Apparently it's something like they're going to claim she died of an opioid overdose, and I'm like, dude, that's, hardcore. But people like Roseanne. The rest of look, I'm not trying to be a dick, but the other characters are peripheral to Roseanne. The show is called Roseanne because people like her. But let's see exactly what happened. This is from Mediaite, and Mediaite tends to lean a little bit left. There may be some regret among the top brass of ABC over the firing of Roseanne Barr. According to a report from the Daily Mail, 2 senior executives at the network are expressing hesitation ahead of next week's premiere of the Roseanne spinoff The Conners, suggesting that her firing last summer may have been a knee-jerk reaction. Here we go. We didn't think it through properly. What Roseanne did was wrong, but we shouldn't have rushed to fire her. It was almost a knee-jerk reaction from Ben Sherwood and Channing Dungey, who should have launched an investigation, a source told the Daily Mail. This would have given them more time to listen to the public, advertisers, and cast members to determine the best decision. You think? Roseanne, what's crazy about Roseanne is that she got fired because she made some comment about Planet of the Apes, about, I can't even remember the woman's name, but they said it was racist. Roseanne didn't realize the woman she was insulting was part black, was mixed race. And so, thus, there was kind of she was trying to be edgy. Roseanne was trying to be, a little edgelord, and she made a mistake. Should she be fired? No, she should apologize. Unfortunately, the ABC just, canned her instantly. And apparently the show's doing really well. So, yeah, I'd call it a knee-jerk reaction. The Conners has the entire cast returning without Roseanne. But one executive fears there simply isn't enough interest without its star. Why would there be? The show is literally called Roseanne. It's a show called Roseanne. You took Roseanne out. I almost, but I'll say this, the Venom movie has no Spider-Man. I thought the movie was kind of bad, but people like it, so, maybe there'll be a weird, actually, I'm going to say this. The funniest thing I've heard about this, someone said they should have replaced Roseanne with Danny DeVito, but kept the script 100% the same. Look, if they did that, I would watch every single episode, because first of all, Danny DeVito's amazing. Second of all, it would be absolutely hilarious if just one day Roseanne was Danny DeVito with the same lines, married to John Goodman. That'd be hilarious. That'd be epic. Quote, when we greenlit The Conners, we thought that the public would tune in to see the family return. But what we've discovered is that people want Roseanne. They don't want the family by themselves, another source said. The marketing and publicity teams are horrified, as no matter what promotional material is released, and let's be honest, it's been limited for a show that launches next Tuesday, Roseanne's fans come out in force stating they won't watch the show. An ABC insider admitted of a pretty grim forecast for The Conners. And not only that, Roseanne's fans likely are fans because she's a Trump supporter. I'm pretty sure she is. And because the show depicted real discussions about the left and the right. I didn't watch it, admittedly, the reboot of Roseanne. But apparently, they did take efforts to, have a diverse situations with, trans characters. Again, I didn't watch, I could be wrong. But you had Roseanne actually talking about why they support Trump, how they feel, the left versus the right, and it felt genuine. That's what I've heard about it. Again, I haven't seen the show. Removing Roseanne not only pisses off conservatives and Trump supporters because she is a prominent Trump supporter, but it kills what made the show good. This real rational debate about left and right. Again, I didn't watch the show, but that's what I'm hearing. So they're saying what we're expecting is for there to be some tune-in so fans can actually learn how Roseanne departs. But from there, the worry is that ratings will freefall, the source continued. In the end, the ratings are all that matter. And there are many people at Disney and ABC who are worried that firing Roseanne will see their Tuesday night ratings drop substantially. And should the Connors flop, Channing and her team will have many questions to answer. Roseanne was fired within hours for a racially charged tweet attacking former Obama official Valerie Jarrett. You know what? Let's just say it. If you're working in a high-profile capacity, just get off Twitter. Just get off Twitter, get off Facebook, get off social media. No one can fire me, but I can be kicked off these social media platforms. However, my work is in these social media platforms. So I have to follow the rules of the platform. Otherwise, I get banned from these platforms. It's why, although I do swear sometimes on here, there's certain things I can't say because YouTube will get rid of me. I do have things I have to pay attention to. What ends up happening, in my opinion, is you've got a lot of people, like what Roseanne tweeted would get her banned from Twitter. Like Twitter could just remove her. I don't know if anything like that happened, but they could. She didn't care. A lot of people don't care, left and right. They'll tweet things thinking like, oh, whatever, who cares if I get banned from Twitter? Not realizing you are more likely to get fired from your job than banned from Twitter. So I'm going to end this segment, because I got more. Oh yeah, there's more. By just saying, left and right, there are people being terminated for the things they say on social media, and you'd think people would learn by now. However, I'm not going to hold it against everybody, and I'm going to say pencils have erasers. I agree, they shouldn't have gotten rid of Roseanne. She should have apologized. One of the things I read was really interesting. They said, why not have Roseanne do a PSA about cyberbullying and racism and apologize publicly before one of the shows? Because then you'd actually have a powerful message, and, hey, that makes more sense. I think they didn't do it for a couple reasons. First, because they just don't like the fact that Roseanne's a Trump supporter. I don't think that's the main reason. I think it's because that's kind of like what Roseanne is insinuating, that because she's working in this industry and she supports Trump, that they are basically like, we're not going to support you no matter what. Just get rid of her. It was a way for them to get rid of somebody who was successful without firing her for performing badly. The show worked, but they want to get rid of her. What I think actually happened was when she did this, people at ABC probably thought there is literally nothing they can do to appease the angry mob. The only thing they can do is prevent it by getting rid of her ASAP. But you know what? One thing that people have failed to learn is that there is no appeasing the mob. When the pitchforks and torches are out, they're not being put back. That fire is lit. That torch is ablaze. They're not going to just put it back down. What was it saying? When you draw your sword, you can't put it away until it touches blood or something like that. I don't know where that comes from. I must watch too much anime. But the point is, there are so many circumstances where you'll see the angry mob of the regressive left demanding something, and then when they come out and say, okay, we've decided to side with you, they come back for more. They say, okay, we're not done. So when they come out for Roseanne and say, okay, we're going to get rid of Roseanne, they're not over. They're not finished. I'm sure most of these people are still ragging on ABC for supporting her in the first place. And they're going to chase you down, and no matter what you do, no matter how you apologize, no matter what you say, it doesn't matter. It's an angry mob. There's no logic behind this. There's no rules. When people on the left get fired for doing similar things, there's complaints from people on the left because it's tribal. When it happens to Roseanne, they cheer. Look at what just happened with the Facebook purge. If you're not familiar, hundreds of pages on Facebook got purged, all right? Many of them were left-leaning, you couldn't call them right-wing. It's hard to say that they're all left-wing. Some of them absolutely were. I know for a fact some of them were like Antifa types. There are people on my Facebook when Alex Jones got banned cheering, saying yeah, hoo-hoo, Alex Jones is banned. And I defended not Jones's content, but Jones's right to publish content, right? And they would say things like, oh, Tim, you're so alt-right defending Alex Jones. I said, no, dude, it's about principles. When you fire Roseanne for a tweet, you're basically saying anyone at any time should be fired for doing something similar, and we don't want to live that way. Okay, there should be second chances. And sure enough, these same people who were cheering for Alex Jones getting removed are now crying because far lefty accounts are getting removed as well. 800 plus Facebook pages, many of which were police accountability pages, they call them. Some of them were far left, but at the same time, many Twitter accounts got pulled too, and these Twitter accounts were, based on what I've seen, left-wing activists. Some of them far left activists. And in fact, one of the accounts that got pulled regularly posts lies about me, claiming that I support white nationalists, total lie, taking clips from my videos and editing them out of context to make it seem like I'm saying ridiculous things, and passing it off as truth, and actually at one point claiming I worked for the Spanish government because I went and covered Spanish protests on several occasions. They claimed on Twitter And that's fake news, 100% fake news, and they got banned for it. So listen, there's another video I've got coming up in just a few seconds, basically about the same thing, where somebody got fired for being a mean person on Twitter. This guy, he's on the left. He posted about how there should be no civility and things of that nature. He loses his job at Marvel, and now the left is upset about it, saying it was a bad faith attack on him. And it's total BS. It's total BS. When you cheer for Roseanne getting fired, you are digging your own grave. When you cheered for Alex Jones getting banned, you dug your own grave, and now you get to lie in it. And that's what's happening. Anyway, stick around. I've got one more video coming up in just a few minutes.